Let's take you to this now. The man who raped and murdered 6-year-old Amantle Samane will be sentenced this coming Tuesday after pleading guilty to all 4 charges against him in the High Court in Johannesburg on Friday. Pethe Sara Simiao, a 25-year-old Mozambican national, faced charges of kidnapping, rape, murder, and contravention of the Immigration Act. In October last year, the community of Orlando East in Soweto joined a mother's search for her little girl after she went missing. She had last been seen playing with other children before Simiao called her to his rented shack at one of the houses in the neighbourhood. He allegedly raped and killed the girl inside the shack and then went into hiding. More on this, we are joined on the line by a reporter who's since following the story, Neria Hlakotsa. Neria, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Remind us what the exact sentence, what the exact verdict was, and what the court had indicated might be the appropriate state, or what do we know about the appropriated prescribed sentencing for the charges that he had been found guilty on?
Good day to you. And, I was listening first to your intro there. And right now we are speaking of a convict, because you must remember that the first thing that happened on Friday when Pethe Sara Simiao appeared in court, he did ultimately plead guilty to all these charges. He did say, in fact, he did lure the young girl to his shack and ultimately raped and killed her. I just want to take you back in court as he was telling the events of the 21st of October 2024. The family was shattered. The mother was crying uncontrollably. But one thing that the judge did indicate on Friday is that these 2 charges of rape and of murder carry a minimum sentence, and roughly that could be 15 years. So though this is where we are right now, but on Tuesday, rather, we are expecting Pethe Simiao to appear again in the High Court sitting in Johannesburg. This is where pre-sentencing is going to happen. We're expecting the state to at least bring a witness just to aggravate the sentence before the judge can finally make his sentence or make his ruling in terms of how long will Simiao be in prison.
Yeah. What in mitigation, is it expected that his representatives will make arguments the fact that, one, not only did he plead guilty, but he also provided a very detailed account of the heinous acts he had committed to play in favor of his sentencing?
Well, at this point, when we're speaking to his legal team, even on Friday, as soon as the state indicated that they would be bringing a witness and further evidence will come out, his defense team merely told us that they will not be taking that route, in fact, because already the client has pleaded guilty. And you must remember, among other things that are there in terms of evidence, is his DNA evidence is there, actually on record, So his defense team indicated to us that they will not be trying to mitigate the sentence in any way.
Yeah. Perhaps, Neria, take us into some of the details of his confession. And I do perhaps want to warn our viewers that it might be graphic. Take us into some of the details that he outlined in court.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving that warning to viewers, but I will try to be as less graphic as possible. However, this is where Pethe Sara Simiao told the court that on the 21st of October, he saw this young girl playing in the streets. He lured her into his shack, and when the young Amantle Samane was in his shack, then he decided to obviously rape her. This was, however, said in detail in court, but I don't think this should be repeated. And after raping her, that's when he decided then to ultimately kill her. And he explained to the court how he killed her, speaking about how he put his hands on her neck until she basically stopped breathing. This is very gruesome details. And after all of that, he admits to fleeing the scene. And remember, he was arrested in Zola, and this incident happened in Orlando East. So after all of that, he managed to flee the scene and was later arrested on this because of what he did on the crime, just to say. But another thing that he was also mentioning, in fact, in court, was the fact that during that incident, he was drinking gin. He was also having beer. So I don't know why he felt important to add the fact that he was somehow intoxicated during this whole process. But that is ultimately what he was telling the court. But you must also remember that Pethe Simiao is a Mozambican national. So in his confession also, he did indicate that he was in fact in the country unlawfully because his permit, his visitor's permit for that matter, did expire as far back as 2022, and that was one of the charges. And also the charge of kidnapping, he did admit that he took Amantle while she didn't agree to it, and held her against her will, basically. So all these 4 charges, he admitted to them. And, like I was saying to you earlier, while he was speaking, everybody knows he killed and raped the young girl, but when through his lawyer, he was detailing the gruesome event, everybody was not okay. The family, there were tears in the family. There was a point where the court even handed tissue to the mother because it was that gruesome. But I think now his legal team has since seen that there is no way of escaping these charges. And I think because the judge even asked to say, did they explain to you that you might get a hefty sentence? And he said, yes, I understand, but I will continue with my confession and admission to the court.
Yeah, Nerea, thank you so much for that update. Really do appreciate it. Quite graphic, and apologies to our viewers on some of the details of that, as it is quite sensitive.